In 2013, the Santos Tour Down Under celebrated its 15-year anniversary. The big names in cycling descended on Adelaide for the first of the UCI World Road Tour races. Current world champion Philippe Gilbert, former Tour de France winner Andy Schleck, and of course the gorilla Andre Greipel, just some of the professional riders competing in South Australia. A world-class list and 6 tough stages provided all the ingredients for a great race. The tour started with the People's Choice Classic, a 51-kilometre sprint around Rymel Park in Adelaide's east. There's no points on offer as the race is not an official stage of the tour, but a great chance for the teams to enjoy the city circuit and the enthusiastic fans. On a glorious evening, 100,000 people lined the streets of Adelaide and they saw an early breakaway that included veteran Radioshack rider Jens Voigt and young Uni SA rider Zach Dempster.
So the Uni SA team made their move straight away with Jens Voigt.
But as the race reached its conclusion, the peloton picked up the speed. Let's join the race with 2 laps to go.
Well, it's now Orica GreenEdge in control. They've got a lap and a half to control this main field. They keep looking back. They're doing currently about 54 kilometres an hour, but when they come into the finishing straight, Phil, we'll be looking at 65.
Lap 29, the bell should be ringing as they head out towards the goal. The pace being made by the South African on centre left as we look now, Daryl Impey. But the boys from all the teams are trying to get the sprinters into position now. This is the most dangerous moment of any world-class cycle race as the domestiques, as we call them, try to move their sprinters. And it's a very tight left-hand bend, that.
The Belgian team, Lotto-Belisol, is Adam Hansen on the front, grimacing now. They're looking back to keep this pace as high as possible. Everyone else in the wings, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th position there is Greg Henderson. 5th position is Andre Greipel. But here's a big move now coming, and it's Robbie Hunter of South Africa trying to get Tyler Farrar up to the front end of this pack.
1 lap to go. 1.7 kilometres to the finish, a tad over 1 mile to the finish. There's an awful lot of riders taking risks around these left-hand bends now. And Andre Greipel, who's won this race twice already, is the 5th man in the line of those jerseys. He is in a perfect position, but he's picked up a shadow. He's got Matthew Goss on his left shoulder. Gossy squeezing through an impossible gap. He will not let the wheel go there of Andre Greipel. The tall black figure of Matthew Heyman here. He's trying to steer his sprinters now right up to where they want them. And Matthew Goss is puffing and blowing, 4th wheel here. He's on the back wheel of the gorilla as he sits there now. And there's a little break because of the pure speed, and there's the final lead out, and look at the set jaw of Greipel as they swing down towards the line. Goss has got his back wheel, and that's what he wanted here, and right on the back wheel is Boy Van Poppel as well. But Greipel goes and Goss chases him, and is Goss going to get it on the line? And the answer is no. Andre Greipel has started again in the Santos Tour Down Under, the 3rd time he has won this opening race, and the team really had all control for him.
We tried to do the same like last year, and I think we proved it again that we have lost power in our team, and it was like we tried it in training in the last days, and yeah, we stick to our plan, and with everyone in our team did his job, and yeah, it was a nice victory.
It certainly was. Andre Greipel going back-to-back with his win here a year ago, just getting the better of Matthew Goss, and Greg Henderson, the lead-out man for Greipel, even holding on to 3rd place himself, while Holland's Boy Van Poppel in 4th and Eddie Boysenhagen, the champion in Norway, there in 5th. The Epic Cycle, presented by Michelob Ultra on NBC Sports Network, is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. This is the year you stop saying, this is the year. And by BMC, who is giving away a trip to the 2013 Tour of Flanders or Paris-Roubaix and a brand new BMC bike. Register at www.bmc-switzerland.com/Spring Classics. And by X-Endurance, the greatest athletic discovery since tennis shoes.
The first official race of the 2013 UCI World Tour calendar started 2 days later with the L'Oreal Men Expert Stage 1 of the Santos Tour Down Under. Perfect conditions out on the road for the ride from Prospect to Lotto-Belisol in the Adelaide Hills. The riders set off on the 135-kilometre journey, and as we have seen so many times, it was a Uni SA rider, Jordan Kirby, who led the early breakaway.
Now there's one lone rider, and you know it looks like a white jersey again of Uni SA, and it is, who is going clear.
That's Jordan Kirby, just got a glimpse of his number. He looks over his shoulder. The main field now fanning out across the road, and that's an indication that they may well give this rider a little bit of an advantage. They're not too concerned about one lone rider getting clear. If it's a large group of 5, 6 or 7 riders, they will chase it down. But a lone rider will have a hard time surviving on a tough course like today. Here we are on the slopes of this very nasty climb, Checker Hill.
It is so steep. It's only short, just over a kilometre, but it is very, very steep. You can see that by the speed that Jordan Kirby is climbing this at the moment.
He's really struggling with that gear. He's got, just looking round the corner there, 200 metres to go. That will be a sight for sore eyes. Once he gets over the top of this climb, though, Phil, he will be happy. He will have picked up a maximum 10 points in the Skoda King of the Mountains competition, and he can fly on the descent.
And tomorrow he can pull on a green-spotted race leader's Skoda jersey. Now a little sprint as he's coaxed up the hill there by one of the Teletubbies.
Well, they get all kinds out at bike races in this day and age, and I have to say that Teletubby is rather a fit Teletubby, as we can just see this young man getting himself maximum points. So Jordan Kirby, 10 points in the bag for the Skoda King of the Mountains competition.
No more climbs officially today. There's plenty of rollers on the way as we head down towards Lotto-Belisol, but he'd be happy enough with that. Opening sprint for the Jayco points competition. There's the line. First blood for the Jayco sprint competition going to Jordan Kirby, and more importantly at the moment, Paul, is a 3-second time bonus. Yeah, this is interesting. All heads are turning here to see if the sprinters are going to snatch this, because it's very important for the sprinters to get small time bonuses on this opening day when they can. It's almost a dress rehearsal perhaps for the later sprint finish, because this is a much hillier race than it normally is. Over the next 5 days after this, it may be swinging towards the climbers and the opportunists, but it looks as though Matty Goss has got an interest here.
Well, that's what he's thinking about. He's thinking about the overall lead at the end of the day. He's going to get challenged there by Sutton on the left-hand side too.
Chris Sutton of Team Sky trying to come through and snatch all this for a 2-second time bonus. Good job that lady jumped back in as they came up towards the line. It looks to me as though Agassi has taken that out. Heading up to the third and final Jayco sprint of the day for the points, and Jerome Pino is the man who's going to take the 3-second time bonus and the points for the leader's jersey, the blue jersey in the Jayco sprint competition. But I think once he gets through here, we're going to see the field come all together as they line up for the finish in Lobo. Oh, my goodness me, he's not even going to get the 3 seconds. What a sprint finish. He got right across Philippe Gilbert, right on the line, swipes the bonus and gets the 3 points. 1,000 metres to go, that's all it is now. Shortly they'll be swinging into the streets of Lotto-Belisol. If they're outside the top 20, they'll never make the progress required. Now these are the domestiques making the final flings to try and lead their sprinters to the line first. Once we make that long straight approach, the sprinters will see the finishing banner, and at the moment we have to say it is advantage Lotto-Belisol, because they have their man right in position. Steele Van Hoff is moving up in the blue jersey as well. Boysenhagen has recovered completely in the red jersey. He's sitting in the 5th or 6th place in a perfect position. Trying to move up on the outside as well there now. It looks as though we have also Eros Kopecky is trying to get in. Now they're lining up for the finish. It is now the lead out, and it has to be Greg Henderson who leads it out. It's all too familiar as Greipel goes for win number 12 historically. Look at the distance here as he roars clear. Hucherovic looks to be in 2nd place. Greipel joins Robin McEwen with 12 historic wins. I think it will be Hucherovic who has taken 2nd place, one better than 1 year ago in Clare, and it wasn't an easy approach. They really did hit him hard they could, but the team got control when it mattered. Greg Henderson, as always, looking after him and then launching him, and look at that. You'll see a late run coming from a rider in the white jersey, and that will be Arnaud Demar, who has got 2nd place, the Frenchman.
We expected a really tough final. We expected a bit more attacks, but yeah, the team did an awesome job again. In the beginning, Ollie Kaisen was pulling to get the breakaway, control the bunch, and yeah, I think the guys did an awesome job again.
What a marvellous sprinter he really is. There's confirmation of his win ahead of the up-and-coming French sprinter Arnaud Demar. Mark Renshaw getting in on the act in third place and Simon Gerrans in fourth place. That's the situation overall, as we now see the ochre jersey on the shoulders here of Andre Greipel.
Rider Andre Greipel equalling Robbie McEwen's 12-stage victories at the Santos Tour Down Under. He was the proud wearer of the ochre jersey coming into the Hahn Superdry Stage 2. But this was not a day for the sprinters. Featuring on the route from Mount Barker to Ross Trevor was the gruelling climb up Corkscrew Hill. A Category 1 climb late in the stage, it was always going to be pivotal. 32 kilometres down, we joined the race, approaching the first sprint point of the day.
And the sprint has been opened by Will Clark, the man who won in Stirling last year, and now a professional with Argos Shimano, and that might be good enough. He's being challenged by Calvin Watson, but Clark will take 3 seconds. Watson gets 3 seconds. He's actually the leader on the road at the moment now, young Watson. The lonely figure of William Bonifon, the peloton has just swept him up. There's 3 left. They're only just ahead of the peloton. They went right around him, put him back in his place. He's the first to be caught. 3 more, and there they are, spread over the road. The break is over. We are about 7 kilometres from the start of the climb of the Corkscrew, and the race has come all together.
I think there may well be one last survivor. It may well be quite possible that Will Clark is still in front. There he is, just by a fraction. He hasn't quite given up yet, but did you see the speed that Team Sky came by? Some serious work being done there by the riders in the black and blue helmets, and that is obviously, I think, today going to be for Edvald Bosenhagen. He's one of the most talented bike riders on the international circuit, and he has been around for quite a long time. Had a quiet season in the Tour de France last year because they had something else on their mind. They wanted to try and win the Tour de France overall with Bradley Wiggins, but when he's given a free hand,
Sorry, touch of wheels at the back of the race, and 2 or 3 riders fell down. There is one.
Let's have a quick look at what was happening.
Well, see riders coming down from the breakaway because of the acceleration, and there it is. Well, that's an unfortunate crash. It was a UniSA rider. Now there's a counter-attack gone from George Bennett, the man that Robbie has mentioned. He did get the silver medal in the recent New Zealand Championships behind Hayden Rolton, who isn't here, and he's obviously got a lot of confidence from that performance.
Yes, he's come up through the ranks of the Livestrong Trek squad as well. They're looked after by Axel Merckx, the son of Eddie Merckx, who believes that he's put together some seriously good climbers. Look at how much damage this race has already done as we start to wind our way up. And look at that nasty little climb.
Bennett will get all the cheers here. And he's being joined by a hard-riding man from Sky here. And I'm just wondering who this one is.
Geraint Thomas, if I...
Oh, it is indeed Geraint Thomas.
From here, I'd say.
Yeah, it is. He's got the Union flag on his shoulder there, indicating he's a former British national champion. He said at the start of this race, he said, I want to get rid of my track fat, because this man is a gold medalist from the London Olympic Games in the team pursuit, and he's looking forward to being possibly a Tour de France contender. He's a great talent from Wales. He's ridden the Tour de France previously. He's ridden very well in the one-day classics, and he took off the Tour de France last year because he wanted to specifically prepare for the London Olympics, and he came away with a gold medal. But now he's going to dedicate himself to the road racing side of the sport, and why not a future Tour de France winner?
Geraint Thomas, I don't think he's won an actual road race since he was national champion of Great Britain back in 2010, so maybe this could be a big moment for him here. There's a lovely crowd on the Corkscrew. He's made it look very, very fast. It reminds me of the top of the Col de Croix de Fer, this in the Alps, but it takes a little bit longer to reach the summit of that climb. Just look at the crowd here. Geraint Thomas gets the points. He's got the Skoda jersey probably tomorrow. It just depends. Depends on just how quickly he descends now. This is going to be a nail-biting finish for Geraint Thomas. Bennett is going to be forced to lead this one out. They are coming closer by the minute. There are Orica riders back there, and there's the move. They weren't ready for it, and Geraint Thomas has gone early to beat them, and Thomas, who started it all, is finishing it off, and an ochre jersey awaits the rider from Wales in the United Kingdom. This is a rider who's done just about it all. We don't mention his gold medal against the Australians this year in the Olympic Games in London, but we just did. Geraint Thomas crosses the line, the winner, and Sky are on top again. That was fantastic.
What an absolutely fantastic ride. You saw Gerrans just pick his moment from the back of the group. He actually laid off them by a length or two. He ran into the slipstream and just absolutely took off, and his acceleration pulled him away from the rest of the group. He's not only won the stage in the sprint, he's put time into those guys as well. He'll get the extra time bonus seconds, but I think he's created a gap of at least a second on the line as well.
I felt good from the start, and the boys worked really well for me, looked after me all day and yesterday. And yeah, I've worked hard in the winter. Since the track, all I've been thinking about is the roads, and this year, and that's what kept me racing after the games. Like back after Beijing, I was just out on the lash, for a few months, but I was straight back on the road and thinking about this year. And I had a good winter, good consistent, just get the hours in, and yeah, stoked. It's great to win here.
And this is how it stands now going into day 3. Thomas leads Moreno by 5 seconds, Ben Hermans by 7, and then Pietropoli at 14 with a majority of the field. But the interesting thing, no Australian there in the top 10 places. This is the man, though, who has claimed the next ochre jersey for the first time in his career.
Off to the bikeexchange.com.au Stage 3, from Unley to the beautiful town of Stirling in the Adelaide Hills. With a temperature close to 40 degrees centigrade, the huge crowds came out to cheer on their champions.
We're now on the climb here of the Eagle on the Hill. Bob is looking to see if anybody's going to come and join him. Durbridge is marking him nicely. The rider in the orange dress of Euskadel Euskadi is Garikoitsa Bravo.
This is the acceleration for the top.
Well, Jack Bobbers has made it quite clear he wants this climb, and he's being taken on by the South African on Orica GreenEdge, Daryl Impey, who I think just sat up and acknowledged that these points in the Skoda King of the Mountains are going to Jack Bobbridge, and that will move him equal first in the classification for tomorrow. Look at Greipel, number 21, in a perfect position here. There'll be a few freaking out when they see him down there, because at this stage of the race we didn't expect to see a peloton of this size in contention for the win. But it is a difficult sprint finish. But then again, we've had 4 or 5 dress rehearsals up the line. Here comes Astana crossing the gap and getting the weight. Nobody spotted. This is an interesting move.
Well, he saw the gap coming down to the 10-second margin, and then all of a sudden he felt, well, this is the time to go. The main field is still very much controlled. The remnants of the breakaway are still trying to come across the gap. It's splitting out quite a fraction, but this is the start of the hostilities.
5 kilometres to go, just the 2 surviving. Morabito is slipping away, has again a second kick from Agnoli.
Well, he tries, but the main field, they're right there, and it's still Lotto coming to the front on this occasion. Second position there, Edwell Bosenhagen. He's obviously keeping himself at the front end of the main field, but they've almost pulled it all back together at 5 kilometres to go. That's 3 miles of racing. Geraint Thomas is in 4th position.
And there you saw on the front, Greg Henderson, the Kiwi, the lead-out man, driving it up the climb and putting a lot of riders in trouble at the back. They're really going for Greipel today.
It is amazing that it's going to come down to a sprint of 100 cyclists here on a stage that I thought they would have been coming in dribs and drabs. Simon Gerrans and others thought this might be the toughest stage of the race. There's an attack on there for Machado again. Thiago Machado has gone. Now there's an opportunist for you, the man that finished 3rd overall in this race last year, Machado from Portugal. Now Garmin-Sharp have decided they've got to make a move. They were probably feeling quite confident of the finish with Steele von Hoff, but now they've lost a man who's running for gold by himself, and he comes from Portugal. Well, just how fast can they close the gaps down? The legs have blown up on Thiago Machado, and he's going to get wiped out around about the kilometre to go tower. It's amazing how fast they come back.
That went very, very quickly. He was going, he was absolutely flying, and then he's just blown up and gone backwards. The key for him now will be to try and maintain a place in the peloton, not lose time, as we get another attack from one of
Worth, I think.
the Liquid Gas Cannondale riders. It is Cameron Worth, the Tasmanian, former rower.
They're going to have to open up very early. That's quite a gap that Cam Worth has built up here, and what a result that would be for Worth. And they've slowed down. Now that's going to be in the favour of Cam Worth as the move is coming now. And this is David Tanner, the other Australian on the Blanco team, who has now made his move, and the reaction has killed off Cam Worth. David Tanner on the front now.
Well, the bunch has reacted immediately to Tanner's attack. They're starting to line up for the finish. Greipel is in trouble. Looks like he's going backwards a little bit. Geraint Thomas is absolutely cruising. Matt Goss still maintaining position very, very well.
The cycling stead rider in second place is Tom Slachter, who reached that breakaway of 4 and split them up on the running yesterday. He packs a sprint finish. He won't want to take the lead. He'll want to hold that second place and make David Tanner do all of the work. Look at that long, thin line, Rob. In the line, the finishing line is literally up the hill and 300 metres away. And Slachter has been obliged to take the lead here. And they're all going to try and chase him down at the moment. Geraint Thomas in that ochre jersey is looking for the win bonus as well, but it looks to me as though Tom Slachter is going to take this, and this will be the first win for the Blanco team. As he comes up to the walls of the line, he's going to have to hang on as Thomas tries to break through and Goss tries to get up, and the world champion Gilbert is beaten. Tom Slachter gets it. Goss will probably be second. The world champion was third. Geraint Thomas may have finished fourth, but the youngster Tom Slachter stole the show. Another one of the world's new blood riders, Tom Slachter here. On the right there, the face of the world champion. It was the finish for him, but neither Goss nor Philippe Gilbert had counted on the face of this young man here, Slachter, getting the first win for the Blanco professional cycling team.
It's incredible. I can't believe it. I saw on the screen that I was the first one, and I was looking around me where I thought they were coming, but I was the strongest. It's incredible.
Just 23 years of age, he wins ahead of some big names in the world of cycling. Matthew Goss, world champion Gilbert, and Geraint Thomas, the leader of the Tour. So he gets the stage win, his first of a World Tour race. And overall now, the situation has changed, but only slightly. Thomas leads Slachter now by 5 seconds. Moreno drops to third. He's 6 back. Ben Herman's down to fourth, but more or less the same names that finished at the head of the firs the day before in Ross Trevor. He keeps his ochre jersey. He's very, very happy with that, but he knows over the next 3 days this is going to be a tough fight. Welcome back to stage 4 from Modbury to Tanunda. Well, most of these spectators here appear to be cyclists because there's no other way to get out to the course here. We're really in the outback in South Australia, away from the towns, and over the under the banner they go for the Skoda King of the Mountains. It was Damien Howson, Philippe Gilbert. Nobody attacked anybody, and they're just carrying on to try and pull clear of the field.
There's another sprint point coming up in around about 8 kilometres time, and I think these two riders may well survive through to that one as well. So they, in a breakaway like this, they've collaborated throughout the whole of the day.
Yeah.
The Howson in second position was first over the King of the Mountains, so Philippe Gilbert probably said to him, look, you went over the King of the Mountains in first place, I'll take this one, so at least I've got some beer money for tonight. Well, look at this, they're trying to, there's Geraint Thomas in third place.
This is Geraint Thomas. We're going to hunt him for one simple second here, but it will give him a 6-second overall lead if he got it, and he's going to have to really push this time along because he's being taken on here, and I think it's Mark Renshaw who's spoiling the party for Blanco as they race up to the line, and that has taken the second away. It's not Renshaw, that I don't think.
Brownie. No,
it's Graham Brown.
Yeah, it is.
Graham Brown it is indeed. Graham Brown, the Perth rider. Well, that spoilt the party. Lovely cheer from the crowd. It's just up on the hill there. Very fast charge in. This is the route that the Bupa Fun Riders came through on the challenge earlier. And it looks as though Gilbert has taken it. It's Eddie Boysenhagen, the champion of Norway, but he's a Sky rider as well, going through. And pacing through just behind him there, right on his wheel, was Martin Kohler. I'm sorry, it was Luke Rowe, the English rider, who tagged on. He's going to also lead out. Here comes the cavalry from Blanco as they start the sprint. That is Kelderman on the left, and it is Brown on the right. And Brown takes it again, just pips the ochre jersey. So poor old Geraint Thomas has fallen twice there to Graham Brown. There are a few tricky turns ahead, aren't there?
They're only 200 metres now or so from that left-hand turn. You've seen a lot of the riders really racing for the front. There's been a crash there. Someone's gone down.
Oh, well, he must have slipped on the side of the road there. One ride, it's an August Shimano rider, and I think it looks like it is Jonas Alstrand of August Shimano who's gone down. You might just see that crash again. Have a look to the left. It was just beneath a tree there, but I think he clipped a warning sign that was put on the side of the road, and he was actually off the main tarmac. But we're now turning for the finish, and it's a question of reassess and get your sprinter into position. This should be about now where Robbie McEwen might be spotted.
Or probably even not yet. I'll be looking in a headwind like this one to just stick into the wheels, not be seen at all. If you're seen on the camera, you've got your nose in the wind. It's not where you want to be. The thing at the moment is the wind is blowing really strong, but a little bit from left to right and pushing them across to the right-hand side of the road. So there's more to contend with. There we go.
There's been a crash, and there's two Euskaltel riders down, and Tyler Farrar is down there, the sprinter from Garmin, walking around. Well, they're inside 2 kilometres to go. These guys do not lose time, but that's not the point right now. They're looking a little bit sore there. It was Aberesturi from Euskaltel Euskadi who's stretching his back out. But the race goes on at the front here as they try to reposition. We're looking for 1 kilometre to go.
And we're looking at the Lotto team just sticking to the right-hand side of the road, staying together and making sure they keep out of trouble, keep their sprinter in their wheel. Francais de Joux coming to the front, swinging back across towards Lotto. They're getting in danger of getting swamped in. I see Andre Greipel raising his head, looking for any obstacles, looking what's up the road as Sky take a run as well. It's still quite a long way to go. Even with 3 or 4 riders over 1 kilometre, you're unlikely to make it all the way to the line. I'm hoping as they come under the kilometre kite that our team, Orica GreenEdge, can get together, get Matt Goss back towards the front and in position, and he can pop out at the right moment. With only about 800 metres to go now, Marcel Seberg on the left side, he launches the Lotto sprint train.
Oh, there's been a massive pile up there, and that's taken out a number of the Orica GreenEdge riders there have gone down on the right of the road. As the race continues on, that's about 700 metres to go for the crashes. They now fan out. Now, where are the sprinters? Greipel's team is on the left. Right in the centre is the orange jersey of the race leader, and it looks like Geraint Thomas is making a run here as well. Greg Henderson trying to lead out Greipel. Henderson is going, and there's a little bit of bumper shoulders with Kittel there, just trying to stay on course there. But watch now, watch the second wheel, because Greipel is going now as Martel Kittel comes at a run. Greipel is heading for his second win here in Down Under. He's going to get the record of 13 stage wins as he crosses the line, and a very good sprint over in second place from Roberto Ferrari of Lamprey will have hung on for second. So let's have a look at the stage result first of all, then. Just over 3 hours for a massive distance today. Ferrari of Lamprey second, Jonathan Cantwell third, Andrew Fenn of Great Britain there in fourth place, Barry Marcus, good ride, back on Soleil in fifth place, and the top 10 completed by Klaas Lodovic of Team BMC. Well, that one happened in the middle again. It was nothing to do with parked vehicles at all. This was a rider created, a pilot error if you like situation. Darryl Impey had a very heavy fall there in the centre right of our picture. No change here. Moreno stays third, Herman stays fourth. Big battle on the old Wollonga Hill tomorrow. But for the moment, he can relax in the glory as Geraint Thomas keeps his lead.
With the big crash on stage 4, a number of other riders bandaged up for stage 5, the Jayco stage 5 of the Santos Tour Down Under, from McLaren Vale to Old Wollonga Hill. The battle of Old Wollonga Hill has been decisive in the past, and this year would prove to be no different.
It is a very long way around this lap, especially when the wind's not coming from the right direction for the breakaway riders.
The legs
as we
just
see someone
cracked.
come to a standstill.
This is Machinsky, and the legs just cracked here as up from behind comes the chasing groups now. A sudden acceleration. It came from Lotto-Belisol at the front, and it looks like Jürgen Roelands, the man who a year ago wasn't in the race at this stage. A terrible crash, and he broke the number 6 vertebrae. It pretty much ruined his season because he also broke his collarbone in October in a race in Belgium, but he's back now.
And this is a great ride from a guy who essentially is a sprinter. He's in such good shape. I think he's really excited to come back to the Santos Tour Down Under this year and show that last year, while he was out with broken bones, He loves this race. He likes to put on a good performance, and that's a very strong jump he's made to cross that gap to these guys.
Very impressive move to come across that gap. Now we're looking at a 4-man leading group. This is the Skoda first category climb of Old Wollonga Hill Road. Now these guys could very well steal the show. The Movistar guys, Robbie, I think are a little bit confused because yes, they're trying to set this up for their man, but it's not quite working the way they wanted it to.
You can see them looking back, checking if anybody's coming across. They're really not quite sure what to do. It hasn't had the desired effect. They wanted to make the race hard, but as Sky just let them go, none of their teammates or no other GC contenders tried to come across. It's a stalemate.
And again, if a 4-man breakaway goes clear, first, second and third time bonus seconds have disappeared.
Well, the breakaway just imploded there on the climb. As the riders come back from the lead group, they tried to make it. They put a lot of effort into it too. Now 2.7 kilometres to go, and it is still the attacks coming in. Now it's from George Bennett, the New Zealand rider. A big danger, George. He sits in 10th place overall
and
in this
Machado
race.
goes with the BMC rider.
And Machado, who finished third up this climb last year and third overall. He sits at the moment, Machado, just 15 seconds off the lead in the race.
Santa Amita who's gone with him, and that's a very big acceleration. There's a control coming at the front end of the peloton. No panic. It's Edvald Bosenhagen doing the work for Geraint Thomas, but the man in second position, Machado, is a very, very good climber. He's hit them nice and hard.
Javier Moreno is contacting the leaders here. He lies third overall in this race. He wants 6 seconds, that's all. And they both hit now out at Thomas. He's got to reply soon.
At some point, Thomas is going to have to do something, and I think he's now on the front. As he shuts this gap down, that provides a perfect springboard for Schleck to follow him up the climb, keep everything together. And as the wind picks up, I think the rider's going to be faced with a little headwind coming into the last corner as well.
It's amazing how the flags are standing straight now. They were dropped and drooped earlier, but now they're together and everything's blowing around up here. It's almost as if we're being hit by a tornado on top of the climb. It is an incredible change. This is going to hurt the attackers, I think, now. Bacon Soleil moving up, everybody trying to get in on the act, but and still now it's being left to the man who leads this race in the ochre jersey. His team now have done all they can. It's back to the leader, and Geraint Thomas is having to close down himself. He's looking over his shoulder, Robbie. That cannot be a good sign.
Geraint Thomas just swung away from the front. We're going to see if that's just the front. Here goes Gerrans.
Gerrans wants to win. The man that won this race overall last year. This stage last year he was going wheel for wheel with Alejandro Valverde, and Gerrans went on to win the race. Now the other rider, the danger, Gorka Izagirre, has got the back wheel of Simon Gerrans. It's everybody for everything now, and quite literally every second counts here.
Well, I think Simon Gerrans is feeling a little bit better. This is just a great move by him. They can let him go, but the guy in front of him, Moreno, they can't. They have to chase him.
And this is Moreno going for gold. Is Gerrans going to make it a perfect Australia day and give Orica GreenEdge the first Australian win of the week in the Santos Tour Down Under? It's a huge effort by Gerrans, and he's coming up to the back wheel of Moreno.
He's looked over his shoulder, he's seen he's got a gap, and now he's going to punch it. The ideal scenario is to get to Moreno, rest for a moment, and then bash right over the top of him towards that finish line.
Well, he'll take the 10-second win bonus, which would help Geraint Thomas if he comes up. He's got to get over the Spanish rider first, who wants that 10 seconds. Then he only needs a gap of a few seconds to win the stage and take the lead.
Well, if he wants to win this thing, he's going to have to hold off Simon Gerrans, and look at Schleck has left Geraint Thomas behind, and he's up and over Simon Gerrans.
They've all hit Geraint Thomas as Tom Schleck has contacted. This is the man who's going for the race lead. The man who's the best young rider. Schleck is going. Gerrans has got onto his back wheel, but he might be spoiling the fun for the Australian as we now head up towards the line. The face of Tom Schleck, and Gerrans goes. Gerrans wants this, the first Australian victory of the week, and it comes on Australia Day. Simon Gerrans, last year's winner, grits his teeth as he comes off this bend. This is the corner.
Come on, Simon. Get up there for Australia Day, mate. Simon Gerrans.
Simon Gerrans gets it on the line. He gets the victory, and more importantly, protects the 10-second bonus of a second. Schleck, he gets 6 seconds, and he gets the race lead.
I think he's got this 2-1, but Simon Gerrans, well, happy Australia Day.
Well, it was perfect. He's been feeling a little bit rough all week. He said wait and see on Saturday. We've waited and we've seen.
That is what a true champion does. They take the disappointment, they put it behind them, and then they come out and give it absolutely everything in their last possible chance. That was just a super classy ride.
Obviously, I was pretty disappointed to drop out of contention on stage 2 for the overall, and had one chance to really make up for that, and that was today. So I'm wrapped to win here on Australia Day. It's like it's a fantastic feeling, and a big thanks to my Orica GreenEdge teammates. They laid it on the line for me today, so it was great to finish it off.
Yes, a big day for Simon Gerrans, but even bigger for Tom Slachter, who finished alongside him, gaining 10 seconds over Javier Moreno, 12 over Jon Izagirre, and nowhere in the top 10 was the Orica jersey leader, Geraint Thomas, losing a lot of big time today in the last couple of kilometres of the climb. And now the new leader of the Tour, as we will see, is now Tom Slachter. It was a great sprint finish for Gerrans, but a big day out for the Dutchman. Tom Slachter has done enough now to lead this race going into the final day by 13 seconds over Javier Moreno, who comes up from third. Herman's also up and down to fifth, Geraint Thomas. The new man in the Orica jersey now is Tom Slachter. The Epic Cycle, presented by Michelob Ultra on NBC Sports Network, is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. This is the year you stop saying this is the year. And by Giant Bicycles, the world leader in cycling technology and craftsmanship. And by Louis Garneau in the cycling solution. Visit us at www.louisgarneau.com.
Next, the Adelaide City Council 6th and final stage, a 90-kilometre street circuit, and again it was time for the sprinters to come out to play.
The gun goes, they roll away the pressure, Paul, on the youngster Tom Slachter. He seems to absorb it like a piece of blotting paper, but if he wins this race he'll become the first Dutch winner of it, and he'll only be 23 years of age. Now Thomas sits in a fourth wheel here as we look at them from the helicopter, and they're all going one off and taking him through. Now, is anybody going to take them on? Do they realise even what he's doing here as they break on the left? That's a fine sprint being put up by Lamprey, but watch the front. And Graham Brown is giving it a go, but Thomas is going for 3 seconds here, and I think he may have got it, but there was a terrific rush up the inside there by Mark Renshaw, is it? Who's come up on the Blanco squad. It's not Mark Renshaw, but it was a photo finish, that, and we're going to have to see exactly what that result was. But it was 3 seconds or 2 seconds. He's got something.
Well, it was a line of right straight across the road there, and you could see the rider from Euskaltel Euskadi was not very happy at all. Well, at least we know that Geraint Thomas has moved up one position at least into 4th place in the overall standings, but that was very, very close.
Final rush for the line now. Luke Rowe pushing on for the riders as they start to do the same lead-out train as they did last time. Matthew Heyman, then Eddie Boysenhagen, and behind Boysenhagen in the red is Geraint Thomas in the glasses. Kelderman is in that blue and white jersey, just tucked off the shoulder of Geraint Thomas, and he lost by the width of his racing tyre last time around. Turning into the straight, somebody went very wide there.
Well, I noticed CJ Sutton has moved up to the back wheel there of Geraint Thomas. That to see whether or not he can take a few points away from anybody else. They've got the pressure now. It's Matty Heyman starting to wind it up. Bosenhagen in 2nd position, Geraint Thomas in 3rd.
This is very good now. Kelderman is creeping up onto the wheel of Thomas. Thomas just needs 2nd or 3rd here to move up into 3rd in the race. Boysenhagen leads him out. Boysenhagen needs to sit up and let him through here as he comes up to the line. Whoa, it was desperate. 2nd or 3rd by my money, and the Euskaltel rider Astalosa, no, it's not Astalosa, but Euskaltel tried to break them all up there as well. That was incredible, and look at the lap speed. We've gone through 50 kilometres with an explosion, almost 52 kilometres for that lap. It's all about the seconds after nearly 800 kilometres of open road racing.
As we get the bell for the last lap of the 2013 Santos Tour Down Under.
And it was Andre Kashikin who took the attack there, but they swept him out with 1 lap to go as they cracked 50 kilometres an hour on the average speed for the penultimate lap of this race. There's going to be a real hurly-burly now. Robin McCune would love to be in amongst it. He won 12 stages. He's alongside me. This is the last lap. Luke Durbridge flicks his arm. He's on the Orica GreenEdge team. Points to other riders where they should be now. These are the final rushes for the line. Greipel is hooked in behind Greg Henderson. Others believe they can spoil it here. The sprinters on the Garmin-Sharp team of America, but look at the gaps which are forming just by the sheer speed of the train of Lotto.
I see the Lotto 4 riders lined up. This is Marcel Seberg, the tall German. In his wheel, Jürgen Roelands, the former Belgian champion. Very fast sprinter. Greg Henderson behind him and Andre Greipel. It's looking ominous.
Greipel is in his usual perfect position. He'll thank the team if we interview him as the winner. Will he get his 100th career win today here in Adelaide? Boysenhagen showed us earlier he is a very fast sprinter. He handled a couple of stages of the Tour de France with his sprint finish. He's feeling good. He's got better every day. Last year he won the points prize. Now they're opening up full bore. It is the third man we're looking for. The second man is Greg Henderson. Henderson goes shortly. Greipel will follow him, but watch out because this is a run by Mark Renshaw. Renshaw has hit him early and gone over the top. It is crafty Mark Renshaw going to do it. Is Greipel going to steal it? Greipel is going to steal it. Win number 100 and his 14th career win in the Santos Tour Down Under. Robbie, Mark Renshaw did everything right, but Greipel was too quick.
It seemed to be just a little bit too far, but he didn't see another option. Boassenhagen had the wheel of Andre Greipel. That put Mark Renshaw another length behind. Here goes Renshaw from behind. He hesitates. He said, will I take a wheel? Will I go? I'm doing it. As he went, he opened the gap. Boassenhagen couldn't follow him. Effectively, it gave Greipel a bit of a sit. He took a second run at it, and he just powers over the top. But look at the absolute grunt that this guy has got.
He wins, as you said the other day, by half a street, not half a length when he really opens up. Boassenhagen did well there to hang on to third place. Renshaw got second.
Well, Andre, I have to say, you make it look so easy. It looked as if Mark Renshaw was going to create the surprise, but you just stayed calm.
He surprised me a little bit. I was also planning to kick, but he started earlier, so I had a bit more slipstream there. But he did a really good sprint, but I had some power left.
Yes, but you may have a great team, but you've got to be very rapid when it comes down to it. Greipel getting the win over Mark Renshaw. It's the third time he's been second on this circuit. Edward Boassenhagen in third place, Matty Goss in fourth, and Tyler Farrar, the American sprinter for Garmin-Sharp, going in fifth place. So the way to the crowd from Greipel as he points to his sponsor, and he's now won 14 stages of this event.
Well, Tom, I have to say, Tom, what an impressive week you've had. Did you think when you won the race around Stirling you were going to win this bike race overall?
No. When I won on Stirling, it was already amazing. And I thought there was maybe a bit of luck too, but I think this week I'm the strongest. So that I take the jersey home is really amazing.
It most certainly is, Paul. He's won by 17 seconds over Javier Moreno, and Thomas came back up to third on the final day, 25 seconds off.
Yes, Ben Herman's dropped down into fifth. Wilco Kelderman moved up into sixth.
Well, there's the big prize from the Santos Tour Down Under, and the huge crowd watching on here as this youngster from Holland salutes them. His first big victory, and there'll be plenty more to come for him, I'm sure of that. In the Jayco Sprint competition, Geraint Thomas got the reward here, 46 points, getting one better than Andre Greipel, so victory for Geraint Thomas.
Yes, that was because of his sixth place on the final stage. He obviously was looking for a bit of glory here this afternoon.
And that wraps it up for this year's Santos Tour Down Under. But this is just the beginning of the cycling coverage that the NBC Sports Network has in store for you this season. For a full cycling schedule, log on to our website at nbcsports.com. For Paul Sherwen, I'm Phil Liggett saying so long for now.